talking. So there's no background noises, because we are recording this. So just know that if you do ask any questions, it'll be recorded. And you can check out our YouTube channel and we'll download this session on the YouTube. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me, inviting me back. must said something good last time. I'm just joking, but actually, sincerely thank to Santa Monica KTC and staff members and also students, Tax Delay, and for me, it's not late. Somewhat, I go to bed really late, so it's kind of early evening. Yeah, but this is Santa Monica KTC's event. For me, it's very flexible because you don't you simply give me just says guided practice and don't really ask me to choose specific topic, and I have so much freedom. So I feel, well, it doesn't mean that, if I have a topic, it's still good, but, every time I have, when I join with Santa Monica KTC, I feel, it's like, I feel I'm the boss or something like that. If that makes sense. Well, this around that time, it's October is approaching. Time goes on, and Western calendar doesn't change. It's October. It's October and September. That's October 6th is Kemburum, which is my teacher. 3 years, passing Nirvana day, and so I kind of including my other teachings, kind of focus on Guru Yoga aspects of practice, and just have a sense of the commemoration of Kemburum. So we actually have a schedule, or the schedule is to have 1 day puja at the Kamalan 3 Retreat Center, where Rinpoche passed away, and we had about a week long meditation. Yeah, after he passed away, week long main meditation, and also have cremated there, and also as he committed or promised before that, for his students, he will be in Columbarium with all other students, with one, and so we have his relic there, and also we did like 49 days puja there. So it's kind of approaching that the 3 years Pasinavana puja, and so I would like to kind of talk about Guru, and also any practice we do related with Guru Yoga. Excuse me. And so Guru, I know we normally also do the lineage prayer. Let's do our lineage prayer quickly, and then I will talk a little bit about devotion or Guru. And I will show you the recitation. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Listening to my own chant sounds great. Can you see the liturgy? No?
No, I cannot see.
We only see a list, Lamala.
Oh yeah, this is exactly what I normally encounter. You guys, I will display again. This is no problem. How about now?
Perfect.
Yeah, perfecto. All right, let's chant the lineage prayer first. Dane je pa la je sadhu je ya de ra do je jang ko nya da yo do je jang ko nya do. So, as you are aware, or before we uh, talk about or start it, please generate bodhicitta thinking that we are doing this for the benefit of all sentient beings to achieve enlightenment. There are so much suffering going on in this world, destruction from elements, fire, water, etc., and the destruction from war, famine, so much suffering going on. And so as a practitioner, whether we practice meditation, discussion about Dharma, whatever we do, first, arise bodhicitta, a sense of really have some compassion. Bodhicitta is extremely important. Instead of rushing to start the practice and kind of lost into a lot of distractions, stress, and then forget the dedication. And even though we be on a cushion for 2 hours, could be one of those just totally wasted our time and energy and everything. So please generate bodhicitta. And as I expressed at the beginning, that because we are approaching close to Kimburum, which is the third Pasinirvana occasion, the third year of Pasinirvana. So I kind of so many recollections and so much gratitude, so much rejoice of Rinpoche's merit, and so much appreciation or gratitude what he accomplished, what he really gave to us. This is purely has to do with his outstanding compassion. Based on that compassion, highly realized, and students like us or myself have this title as a Lama who done 3 retreat, and there is instruction which is so which feels excuse me, so much blessing. And then some people, a connection with teaching with him and some of our like staff and the volunteers be with Rinpoche for many years, and that of course, no exception, our recent late or Dharma sister Maureen Nicholas, who passed away recently, in one of long-term KTD's staff, and Kemba Rinpoche's personal cook. She had been at KTD monastery for 29 years. Actually, we had I had planned to have a celebration of her 30th year and next year, but she, passed away all of a sudden. Of course, which is a little bit, it's of course a little, kind of. We're missing her a lot. She is one of those individuals who always have this unshakable devotion, such a joyful spirit. And those of you who met her, or you probably know her. And I know her since I've been here, which was 1997. And he used to be the primary KTD cook. And then slowly, she and her husband Peter started, publishing books, and we call KTD publication, which is primarily started by her and based on Rinpoche's blessing, his one's Kamamba's blessing, and so many books are published. Including my own two books, Kemba Rinpoche's biography and Siddhartha, and also later on, she may not, while she was working on publication, and she was the main person also cook for her teacher Kemba Rinpoche. And you may not see her doing 3 retreat. You may not see her like doing such meditation in public places, such. But she was very she was very what's the word? She was very for her main practice, let's put it this way, her main practice was Kamapashi, second Kamapa, and she has shrine in her room. Excuse me. And when she passed away, she was the day she, everybody saw her, having lunch. Bring the lunch, the dishes, and then on that night she kind of passed, she passed away, and while she was sleeping, and when they discovered she passed away on that night, that her right hand was put under her forehead or under her head, like how Buddha passed away, and very peaceful, and then all the lamas done, for our practice. And without going through such long-term illness or like suffering or such, sometimes if if your age is very advanced, if you don't have really such care, it's not easy to survive. So she didn't go through any of those. And then we all did, and the next evening we did a Chinese practice, and we had so many people, like 60, 70 people gathered, and they're all, you can, you could feel the sense of such respect and love to her. And, then we had funeral, and we all joined the funeral, all the Campbell's, Lamas, everybody's praying. And then we had Amitabha Puja, and, one day, and then evening we had this, we call deceased ritual practice, Chanchu. And on that day, evening, we had this double rainbow, and a beautiful sunset with double rainbow, like sun shining, rain kind of fall, and a very, very auspicious. Everybody sensed that she really, her passing was very genuine, and we could feel that he was guided by her gurus. So my main point here is that a true student, let's say someone is so devoted to such an authentic guru like Khenpo Rinpoche, or those individuals who has a connection with any teachers, because when you build any connection with any teachers, regardless the teacher is authentic or not, you build a special Dhamma connection, you receive teaching from that teacher, and our own sense, where these individuals become your own guru. So there's a samaya boundary, samaya boundary. And so Maureen's case, of course, her main teacher is Khenpo Rinpoche, and then, of course, very devoted to all energy masters, especially Trisons Kamapa. And so my main point, I keep saying my main point. What is my main point? My main point is that don't think that excuse me, that Dhamma is very historical, which was taught by Buddha like 2000, close to 600 years ago. It is still relevant. It is something still true, and on and on, displayed by great masters, devoted students like Maureen, like devoted masters, very accomplished masters like on Khenpo Rinpoche, which is like only 3 years ago, and he who practiced in teaching, and when he passed away, as I mentioned earlier, it was in meditation for almost a week. So these are the true sign of the meditation. As Khenpo Rinpoche used to teach, used to say that water is water, no matter how many generations, like 2,500 years ago, there was the water was water, and so still water is water. So whoever drinks able to quench the thirst, likewise, true practitioner or truly devoted to your guru, Dhamma is always, we see the fruition. So we all feel, not just to me, someone really don't know nothing about, what's the science such, but those of the Khenpos at KTD and the students, they all feel that, our sister Maureen's passing was very, very special, and really everybody learned something, a few things. One is that they learned that life is unexpected. Life is unpredictable, let's say, unpredictable, because nobody expected he would pass like all of a sudden. Secondly, they were very admired because her dedication to the Dharma, her devotion, that she didn't go through such, long illness or such. And thirdly, there was this very genuine lot of signs that she, really have some achievements. As I mentioned earlier, her main practice is Kamapashi, and she who also, kind of always take responsibility to do the monthly Kamapashi puja. She makes toramas and all those offerings, and she has always set up shrine, and so this is once again, and devotion of herself and the blessing of the Guru, especially Khenpo Rinpoche. And secondly, after Khenpo Rinpoche passed away, I also noticed that a lot of our students who had been Khenpo Rinpoche student, and of course, we all do kind of lost. So what do we do now when the Rinpoche pass away? And kind of distant sometimes from centers. Actually, some senior students a little bit distant from this, and a little bit. Of course, there's no such. No one can replace Khenpo Rinpoche, such great master, and some of the students recently, senior student visited KTD and also Kamalai, and I also sometimes talk with our senior students, who express that it's kind of very loud, it's very empty, and don't know what to do, and I simply give them an example of myself. I could be the one who experience completely emptiness, because not only Rinpoche was my spiritual teacher, such an important guru, but he was my uncle. He was, you could say, only relative from Tibet. He's the only family member. Of course, now I'm married, I have my own family members, but he who spoke my language, and we could Rinpoche always so enjoyed talking with me, because we speak same dialogue and always make jokes, and all of a sudden Rinpoche passed, and of course I could be the one who also totally lost. But I often express this, not just my expression, but it's the truth that how much gratitude I experience, even though Rinpoche passed away, so much teachings I received, and I don't have to panic to find, I have to find another teacher, or that's everything with what I taught. If I have ever questions about my practice or such, you simply read one of his book. There are many books, like 4 volumes of Kamachame, Lama Paths, and there are many books published. Also, there are so many teachings he taught. He taught basically everything for past 40-something years, and those are the becomes our substitute of Khenpo Rinpoche. Of course, like there was the other day, actually, I went to KTD during Maureen's the Amitabha Puja, and one of our long-term student, her name is Eleanor, and she shared me a story that how powerful Rinpoche is, even though Rinpoche already passed over 3 years. And she said that Rinpoche gave her a mala, with mala bag. She has a little mala bag, and like this mala bag, right? So she kind of lost this, how to not, put the notes, like Rinpoche did before, and she just kind of lost, and then, trying to remember something, and then the next day, she kind of put on shrine, and the next day, the notes went back to exactly same as what Rinpoche did, even it went back the same way, and she was in tears that how powerful Rinpoche's mind is, even though she passed away, but he's able to kind of do this. And also 2-3 days ago, actually, in the Rinpoche's bathroom, there's a skylight. And there was some water coming out, and one of Chinese student, his name is Mr. Lee, who does all the gold paintings, and he did all the gold leaf for Rinpoche Stupa. He always does this. Everything is free. It's just so devoted. And so he was finishes the project. I think took 2 days, and then one of our Lama student, one of staff, this Chinese student, she shared my story that all of a sudden she had this strong she had a dream, and then someone said you must put 2 incense in Rinpoche's room upstairs, and she went up, and Rinpoche room was locked, but there's a where Rinpoche works, we call sewing room, and where she put those 2 incense. So I went up there and just wanted thank to Mr. Lee, and then I saw these 2 incense there, and I just put Rinpoche's picture, and then 2 incense, and then kava, and give to Mr. Lee. And then later I discovered that someone a voice told her to put these 2 incense in the room as soon as possible, and I end up giving that to Mr. Lee. I think Rinpoche so much aware, because this project was organized by Kempo Ujin. Later he told me, oh sorry, I was busy, I wanted to give something to Mr. Lee, but I'm so happy you give this 2 incense. So it's kind of very actually fascinating. And of course, myself, as I expressed earlier, someone Rinpoche's nephew, and sometimes you have this sense of a little bit, loss, but when you pray to Kempo Rinpoche, and think of his smile, just to visualize, how he puts his hands on your head, and very remarkable, like a heavenly scent, smell of Rinpoche. You think of those, and I feel, very, satisfied. I feel like immediate blessing. So my second point is that those of us who has been a Rinpoche student for a number of years, even though you saw him in short period of time, and never shouldn't feel that you are lost or we are lost. And Guru, we have talked about. Guru has 4 aspects. The Guru of the lineage, which is actual person, like when Rinpoche was present, who gave teaching, and then that is actual Guru of the lineage. And then second is Guru of condition or appearances, which means that everything what we go through, difficulties or and permanent change, everything is a manifestation of Guru's teaching, even though it those teachings are not really form of Guru, like someone has the whole feature of a Guru, but that is a manifestation of Guru's speech. And then third is so the third is the guru of teaching the scriptures, like Buddha passed away so many years that his teaching becomes the substitute of guru. So everything what I was emphasized about Khenpo teaching, all these years recorded, everything is manifesting as a teacher, even though you don't see him in person, but his teaching becomes the actual teaching teacher. And then last, first you relied upon your guru, maybe in the past, or relying on guru now. In the future, whatever it is, then you receive teaching. That is, even if you can't go to see guru often, that teaching is your manifestation of your guru. And then third is what does teaching says? The meaning of teaching is about impermanence, suffering, change, and then how to rely on methods or teachings. And then lastly, the ultimate teacher, guru, which means that whether guru is far away or whether guru is passed away, you always kind of visualize guru during the day or night time. When you go to bed, you visualize guru, small image of guru at your heart and radiating light, and then sometimes without dissolving, you kind of visualize it into your heart, small like thumb size or very small size of your guru. Of course, the size could be various, depending on how you would like to visualize. And when I talk about radiate, not like so bright like light, it's more like a soothing, healing, and the manifestation of Guru's clear light. So you can visualize like that, and then of course mix your mind with the Guru, and that is what we call penetrating the blessing, which means you are able to realize your own ultimate Guru, which is realization, or able to realize Mahamudra. So those of us who feel every time you feel a loss, and then you always remind the teachings and always think of the Guru. Of course, that doesn't mean you shouldn't follow other teachers, and sometimes if you feel totally lost and I'd have to see a totally different teacher, then you may need to start all over again, because every teacher has different style. And if you've done everything you practice and Khenpo, and now you're kind of looking for another guru, and you start all over again, maybe the style is different, and sometimes I actually not just I'm saying that, but some people also told me I was so lost and I follow certain teachers, and that's so hard to practice, and it's so different. And I said, well, when you practice Guru Yoga, if you supplicate or visualize, Khenpo, the one so many years, he's the embodiment of all gurus. You don't have to, chase every guru or different lineages. It's time for us to sit down and read his books and visualize and practice, and so that's the most important part. And then, of course, having authentic teacher like Khenpo is really very fortunate, and so in addition to that, it is very important for us to also have a devotion to the Guru, faith. Faith and devotion, they are pretty much same, but also categorized a little differently. Like faith, has three aspects. The first is inspired inspiration. which means that when you see someone like Kembrumbachi or other great masters, we are so inspired because they are the role model example that someone is so still in the middle of so many conditions around them, even they have so many difficulties, but they are so joyful, and they are so satisfied, they are so happy, and they are so calm, which means we are inspired to follow these great masters for inspiration, faith. Then second is desire, or wanting, like want or desire. This desire doesn't mean like ordinary desire, but I want to be like that individual. I want to achieve enlightenment. I want to follow the step. I want to also have the stability of the meditation. And then third is trust, confidence. So you are very confident in following Guru's steps, following teachings that he gave, 100% confidence. And through that confidence, you will gain such insight. Meditation practice, we have full confidence that whatever emotion we encounter can be liberated, can be transformed through the practice. So that student's case, it's very important. Think of the Guru and their kindness, and visualization during the day, especially in the evening, supplicate to Guru. And the only way to repair Guru's kindness, not like anything else, but following his teaching and constantly get an accumulation of merit, constantly reading his teachings and meditate and practice. And I think I shared this so many times that when Rinpoche kind of personally, sometimes I kind of express that, or I used to hear from him that, like it's very important that we should, before we die, it's important to have some kind of at least like a glimpse of recognition of our nature of mind. Because through our devotion, through meritorious actions, if we, not if, well, still have to use if. If we have a glimpse of sometimes, like I tried this so many times, this self-liberation, like emotions running high, and our body is shaking and no place to escape. And sometimes you have this kind of surrounding to the Guru, it's kind of sense of Guru, and whether you may all of a sudden no place to escape and really suffering, and kind of think of Guru or supplicate to Guru, and then maybe you are able to feel a sense of liberation. I also used to say that liberating thoughts is can be sometimes like instant, and but it is something through the Guru's blessing. And if you have a sense of liberation of thoughts, like a short period of time, so then you kind of feel there's hope. You feel very hopeful. You are inspired that the teaching that Gurus give or Buddha's teaching is, real, and it's working. So my point here is that, always supplicate to Guru, always think of Guru, and meditate, and even though at days, like at times, like we all on same page, we all like family, children, and running crazy, so many emotions going on, and but um, my problem, I give you myself as an example. My problem is, a lot of like laziness, etc. But I never have problem not to convince Guru's blessing. I know that no matter what I go through, whole day I could be really, emotionally lunatic or something. Could be like, really crazy, and, just get upset or stressed. But at the same time, I always 100% believe that, if we continue supplicate to Guru and continue just try to remind meditation during this most intense moment of our emotions, and absolutely, we can liberate, we can rest our mind, and so if we can do a little bit of meditation, or sometimes instead of stretching our mind like 100 miles, you kind of go, zoom back, go back to original, and you feel a sense of confidence, a sense of liberation. So that is, I think, extremely important. And then lastly, aspiration is so important. I make such aspiration, like I will, before I die, may I able to, introduce my nature of mind into Mahamudra. May I become inseparable from Guru. May I able to benefit all sentient beings. For example, like I'm a vegetarian ever since his Holiness recommended students to try to follow the vegetarian diet, especially our Kemburumachi at the time was 80 something years old, and 83 years old. But up till that, he wasn't a vegetarian, but he just overnight, followed kind of, with his special, profound devotion to His Holiness. He just become vegetarian. So I become vegetarian, and the more you eat meat, you kill a lot of sentient beings. And then I, have this concept in my mind that, even though we are vegetarian in this life, but if we don't make aspiration for next following lives until we achieve enlightenment, we could go back to the same place. So aspiration is extremely important, especially when you go to such places like in America, like our own His campus, like KTD or other centers. You make special aspiration in front, or at those places, like if you come to KTD, like supplicate and make aspiration in front of the special statues, Kemburumachi now stupas there. If you go to Kamala Retreat Center, there are Kemburumachi stupas. So it's important to make aspiration in front of holy places, and like Bodh Gaya, of course, India or other places. And now very last of my talk is about, refresh our connection, those of you who follow our lineage and receive teaching from Khenpo Rinpoche. It's important to visit, again and again, the seat of His Holiness Karmapa KTG, where Rinpoche spent the rest of his life, and also Kamala Retreat Center. So every time you come back, you feel reconnected, and so that's that. And then the very last, how many last this will be? Very, very last, the most very last, the most last of the last is, now we have Khenpo Ujin, and I always express this to students that Khenpo Rinpoche really focused on Khenpo Ujin past few years before he passed away. He gave all his empowerment rituals to Khenpo Ujin, and he has so much, he really, really loved Khenpo Ujin, and he kind of passing, he asked Khenpo Ujin to do 3-year retreat, everything. So he was basically preparing everything. So Khenpo Ujin now is the abbot of the monastery, and he's, if you ever want to find a individual, a practitioner, like only does everything what he does is Dharma, that's also Khenpo Ujin. Very, very special Khenpo, and who resides at KTD, and please do receive teaching from him and see him, receive blessing. And I guess that's tonight's talk, and then yeah, and maybe I would open for question and answer session. If you have any questions related to what related with the topic tonight, or any other questions, please welcome.
Do you know the artist's name that did the stupa for that you were talking about earlier? The Chinese artist? Do you?
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Which stupa?
Oh, Khenpo Karthar stupa.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Khenpo Rinpoche stupa was organized by myself and Lobenla, the Tango Monastery Vajra master, who came here and gave all the Chami Rinpoche teaching collection, reading transmission to all of us, especially to Khenpo Rinpoche. And so we together organized, and the artist is one of his friend in Nepal, one of the statue maker. So I don't really know exactly who that person is. I was basically following Lobenla's guide, and this is the stupa of Khenpo Rinpoche at KTT Monastery. It's extremely beautiful. It's always reminds Khenpo Rinpoche himself, so detailed, so pure, so majestic, so perfect. I'm very happy.
Lama, thank you for sharing the story about Maureen, and the fact that there was a double rainbow at her soon after her death. That is such a wonderful message to us, that as a Westerner, she was able to achieve that. Thank you.
You are very welcome. Yeah, it's Buddha nature doesn't have it's all about Guru's blessing. Buddha nature, whether you are Westerner or Tibetan or Chinese, there's only one wisdom, Buddha nature. So it's really, very special, to see this, results, like someone, sometimes we expect this very special signs of achievement only could happen to lamas or Rinpoche such, but it could happen anybody who has And really, Maureen is one, for example, so devoted to her teacher and dedicated to her KTT and all Lama, stuff. So
Yes.
anybody could do that, Yes, we can.
One more question.
Hmm.
You mentioned that you do get angry.
Me?
Yeah, I can't ever picture you angry.
Yeah, that's very deceiving. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't get angry with you guys. You will never ask me come back to teach.
Oh.
Uh, yes, I probably get angry every day. That's possible, and it's uh, uh, especially someone myself. Been monk for a long time, and then changed my life, and now a lay person, and facing all kind of situations, and that happens. I never say no, and my yeah, I totally understand. Because you might, it's kind of very deceiving. I can't just yell at you. I never yell. That's my another promise, in my life.
Mhm.
But I get angry, I get stressed, etc. Yeah. I'm glad you asked that, because that's the truth, and I'm working on it.
Yeah.
But this is my kind of a resolution, not resolution. Let's say this is my try. At times, I know, especially when I was a president of KTD, so many situations going on, and I get angry, but I don't talk with the angry. I just if you get angry with something, you don't send an email right away, and you just take a walk,
Yeah, yeah.
or just change a subject. And actually, I learned so much from during my time. Some of my colleagues, or people who work with me, give this suggestion, because sometimes I think I make mistake, I get angry, and then I can regret.
Yeah.
And secondly, I never. I want to make sure what I say is right, because I don't want to expect negative karma. So if I get angry today, something happened, and I try not to leave that there. I try to confess within that day. So, I don't want to experience negative karma. And then thirdly, as I mentioned that, I make aspiration, may I one day realize the nature. But sometimes it's interesting. Okay, I'm not trying to protect myself. There are some crazy practitioners, like could look like mad whole day or entire life, could dispute with other people, and then when they come to death, they have the whole sign of realization. It's hard to tell. I'm not trying to cover myself, but I never feel good whenever I get angry, and that's why beside I teach, I try to do something meditation at the beginning of the day and trying to be positive, but that's not easy. It's not that easy.
I just want to share a story about when I was working my life in the corporate world. Whenever I got a nasty email or an angry email,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't reply to it at all. I would pick up the phone and call them.
And so
It
you
was
get
much easier for me to talk through a problem rather than having the possibility that they misinterpret my reply.
very good, very good. I put that in my list. If I get angry, and if I call, I might get even more angry. But everybody's different. You're probably able to talk with calm,
Yeah, yeah. But I would wait, definitely
Mhm.
wait several hours or something.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
several evolution.
So Lama Karma, just to clarify what you said,
Mhm.
that people may have, if someone's guru dies, they have the
Mhm.
option of taking on another guru who is alive, but
Mhm.
that's not the same as going to another teacher just to get Dharma teachings.
I think maybe two things, Daniel. Sometimes when I try to say something, something may not it's very clear. The first thing what I say is that students like Cambridge students been following him maybe like 20 years or something, and shouldn't think they're totally lost because
Oh,
even though he passed away, all his teachings are the regent of himself. And also there are so many Rinpoche trained lamas like Lama Kati and other lamas. Those lamas actually know how Rinpoche teach. They did the 3-year retreat practice under Rinpoche's guidance, which I didn't actually talk about this lamas. So it's very similar style, and also like they are very devoted to Khumbu Rinpoche. You can check with them, ask questions, and meanwhile read the books and practice. And I will never, if somebody says I follow this guru, and I will never say no, don't do that. That's all individual's choice. But when people express me saying that I kind of trying, feel so lost after Kimberly passed away. I'm trying to follow another guru, and it's so different styles, having so much hard time. I said, then I would simply say, maybe, you are so used to with Kimberly, maybe you can ask questions with the lamas, or you can read the books. And sometimes like people, somebody has to say something, because when I said that, oh yeah, that's true, why I didn't think about that,
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
so yeah.
Can I
And
ask a
there's a
question?
lot of Dharma teachings of Kempo Kartar on DVD, right? From Namze Bongzo, if someone wants to.
Yeah, so many teachings, I think DVD, and of course now we don't use the tape recording, and also a lot of some of his teachings published. And I do really think in the future that those students who followed Kimber's long term, they're responsible to publish continuously about Rinpoche's teachings, And we do have a committee. I'm in part of that. We have a few lamas and a committee that kind of really working on put all together all the Kimberly teachings first. Collecting all of his audience, teachings, audios or videos that sometimes like missing one tape or something. Kind of put in categories, and once that is done, I really think that. They should really, students, maybe different centers can take responsibility and, edit and publish books, like Tale Kandro. Tale Rinpoche passed away, and Tale Kandro is his consort who is really organized, and there are so many students. They're like, I see this, you probably saw on Facebook, they're publishing books like every few months, like so inspiring.
Okay.
Lama Karma, can I ask a
Yes,
question?
please.
I don't know if you can hear me. So I
I can hear
think a
you.
week today is okay, good. So I think today, or a week from today, is the anniversary of the passing of Khenpo Rinpoche.
Mhm.
And I was just wondering, what do you recommend doing to like honor the day and to like remember?
My recommendation is really, as I mentioned, I kind of teach about Guru Yoga, or like Guru, and also if I get a practice, I do Guru Yoga. So focus on Guru Yoga practice, especially those of you are connected with Khenpo Rinpoche, really re commit your daily practice. That's something Kimber always emphasize. Please do your daily practice. And if you haven't done this in the past year, and reestablish, and not saying that I promise you I will do it every day, but just to supplicate to Rinpoche, saying that I will do my best. Not just the same, but we have to do better than last year. And then the other part I mentioned is that Rinpoche's love and compassion and also teaching, especially his really, he stayed at KTD, he and Kamalai, he emphasized these two important sites, places, and it's very important those students, visit the monastery or three retreat center, and that's where Rinpoche has been. Especially those of us, those who are connected with the respective centers like Santa Monica KTC, others like really continue support, because Khyentse Rinpoche, Thangpa Rinpoche, my other teacher sent me to US be attendant of Khyentse Rinpoche, and when I finished my second three retreat, Khyentse Rinpoche easily can keep me next to him, and serving till he wasn't that young. He was already in 80s, but Rinpoche never kept me next to him. He was basically saying that I trained you to do three retreat twice, and the purpose is that I want you to benefit centers, KTC. So I was traveling past 10 years, like something like that. And so my point is that those of you are connected with the KTCs or centers, continue support, continue like this kind of teaching, or like whatever group doing. If you just simply appear, it's kind of support, right? Even though you can't be in person. So be supportive with respective KTCs is also, I think, one of the highest fulfillment of Khyentse Rinpoche, and also your own, reestablish your own practice, daily practice, the famous daily practice. And people sometimes do, at the beginning, when you hear a talk from somebody very excited, and then after a few days goes back to normal. But actually, I really think that once you experience a little bit of, real blessing of the teaching, blessing of the practice, if you really experience a little bit, like as I mentioned, liberation of your thoughts or something, and then you feel very inspired, you are glad to practice, not like, oh, this is something I have to do every day, kind of, excuse watching news or, whatever.
Lamala, I have a question about when one does a nune, if you've committed to doing a daily practice and have been able to sustain that for however long, and then the nune is devoted to, I think Chenrezig or Thousand Arm Chenrezig. Is it okay to continue your practice that you've committed to and have been doing every day, and then once that's completed, move into the Thousand Arm Chenrezig practice as part of the nune? Is it okay to continue, if you haven't broken that pledge to commit to a practice? Can you just keep doing that and then move, or do you have to drop that for a few days while you're doing the nune?
When you do nune practice, like if you have some serious commitment, something like I do Mahakala every day, part of my commitment, which I don't skip, regardless what practice you do. I may do a short version of Mahakala practice. So if it's something like really that you cannot escape. You have to do even like, some mantra. If you're special idam deity or practice, you should do a mantra. Even you can do whole visualization. But if you don't have this kind of serious commitment, I would recommend you focus on that unit practice, because unit practice is very important, and that is, could substitute your daily practice. For example, like if you're doing Hindu practice every day, and then once you get to unit, and you unit practice the whole day, so you can't just overdo your practice, and so I would recommend stick with unit practice, and then after unit practice finish, and continue your daily practice.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mama Karma, can I ask another question?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Thank you. I saw in the KTD newsletter
Mhm.
that next week, a week from today, I think there will be 3 sutras that will be read next week. And I was just wondering why those 3 sutras, and could you say a little bit about them? Because I tried to find them on the internet so that I could participate, but I couldn't find them, and I couldn't find that much information about what they are like about. So I'm just wondering, like, why it's important to read those sutras, and what are those sutras about, if you don't mind explaining.
Thank you. I think I'm missing a lot of stuff out. I think I now just so much focus on my family life, and my son goes to school, drive there, and I'm missing all this news. Now I have to check which sutras. It's kind of embarrassing, but still
Mama Karma, I will
have to be.
find it and tell you. I
Yeah,
have it. 1
please.
minute.
Who's reading that? Probably not me.
I will tell you. 1 minute.
You might talk about the empowerment maybe coming up. Is that what you mean? I just looked on the
Could be,
KTD
yeah.
website.
I
The
think,
concept what you're looking at?
yeah, because when you said sutra, that's, let's see if you can find something. But there is, like, as Max mentioned, there will be some empowerments will be given by Tuk Tamchu, one of Tangu Monastery, Rinpoche Tuku, and he will be giving some public empowerment, such as Milarepa empowerment, White Torah, Green Torah, several empowerments.
There's an in-person only anniversary puja of Temple Karthar Rinpoche at Karma Ling Retreat Center.
Yeah.
On October 6th, but that would.
Yeah, that's puja,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
maybe there's no, I kind of missed the reading transmission, if you somebody, oh yeah, there's chanting of 2 sutras. Was it to me?
Yes.
And I see. Oh, the 2 sutras. This is the will be chanting at the retreat center, which is about stupa sutras. And when we did the stupa consecration, we always do these 2 different sutras. It's not a reading transmission, but it's something like a puja on that day. So we will be, chanting some prayers, including those 2 sutras.
Can we get copies of those sutras?
What are the sutras about?
This is about stupa, and I don't know, like this can be kind of shared online, like without reading transmission. Or I really don't know. This is puja is leading by Lama Tashi, and we just go there and participate. I think it says on person only. Doesn't have Zoom, I guess. So these 2 sutras, it's about the benefit of building stupa and circumambulating, and there are some mantras there, and it's kind of one is a long one is short one. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Lamala, for tonight.
You're welcome,
we could probably
Jody. Which
wrap up.
galaxy are you on? You look like on Mars.
I'm on Mars.
cool.
Mars. Yeah. I just found it. I found it on Zoom. So yeah, for everybody's enjoyment. I'm on another planet.
Yeah.
It's really
Well,
cool.
thank you for the talk. I loved hearing all
Yes.
about, and especially about Maureen, because I know I saw her when I was at KTD, but I didn't really know exactly her role, or it was really nice to hear about her. So thank
You're
you
very
for
welcome,
sharing.
and
Thank you
I
for
think
sharing that.
it's very inspiring to everybody. Don't think that
Mhm.
you can't achieve enlightenment, or you can't achieve, or you shouldn't discourage. You continue practice with confidence, and
Mhm.
think of Guru. And Maureen is perfect example. Someone that didn't do 3-year retreat, but still have such genuine result or sign of achievement, actually. So that's it, right? So thank you so much, everybody. Once again, everybody organizing this and taking your time. And I do hope that my talk inspire you about our kind Guru and devotion, especially the last question about what we can do to commemorate Khenpo Rinpoche's passing nirvana. 3 year, and the third year is to really re-establish, refresh our practice every day, and that's extremely important. Reconnect or continue support the centers that he built, and continue connect with the mother, the original seat, the Buddha Kamapa seat, KTDO Community Center, make good aspiration. And so let's dedicate the merit of today's session for the benefit of all sentient beings, especially for long life free sons Kamapa, all the great masters, especially when we offer this merit to our peerless Khenpo Rinpoche, our Guru, and may we become inseparable from him by practicing. May we be able to please him through our practice, through support centers, through benefit other sentient beings. And let's chant the dedication prayer. Jega manje bala duba sebe zolen doa jo tonje saner boje maje bana jeje iba nyamba meba la kone gonde pewa jo sestashi dele.
Thank you,
All
Lamala. See
right.
you next month.